What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here. I am back with another video, and today we're going to be discussing the Erik Karlsson incident. Now, I told you guys I wanted to make more Mike Korzemba style of videos, and this is going to be kind of like one of those style videos. He is awesome, one of my favorite YouTubers for sure. This one is going to be about the Erik Karlsson incident that happened last night. I'm currently recording this on April 3rd, Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. So if you're watching this at another date, you can always come back to this and maybe see what has changed since then. But all signs right now are pointing to the fact that Erik Karlsson might be done as an Ottawa Senator. So if we're going to get some details out, I figured I'm going to look at all sides of the story and not just give an opinion randomly and, you know, take from other people's ideas. This is 100% my opinion. If you have a different opinion, please leave it down below. I'd love to hear it. I'm not saying any of what I'm saying is true, but it's always cool to speculate on what might happen and what might have happened in Erik Karlsson's mind as he was picking up the puck. And I'm going to try to go through every single idea. If I miss something, please tell me down below. But again, this is a hockey discussion. Let's have fun with it. Let's not argue with each other. Let's just, you know, have a little bit of fun with these rumors and, you know, dirt sheet type of stuff. It's fun. So last night, Erik Karlsson did something that I think a lot of Ottawa Senators fans are not really happy about. Now, I remember reading an article as well talking about comparing this to the Daniel Alfredsson situation. We all know how that went. He ended up picking up a puck and saying he just wanted to give it to family. He was a free agent at the time, well, after that season, and then he ended up going to Detroit, signing there, and everybody was kind of like, oh man, like this is not good. What happened? That situation was a little bit messier. There were some different parts put into that situation. But now that Erik Karlsson has done the exact same thing pretty much, it's kind of worrying a lot of Senators fans. And the thing is, there is differences. Erik Karlsson still has a year left on his contract as well, and I'm not trying to just compare these two, but it's just another piece to the story. Erik Karlsson has a year left. He could still be an Ottawa Senator next year, and looking at his stats, in 71 games played, he had 9 goals and 53 assists for 62 points. Now, obviously, he had a little bit of injury trouble, and his season is over because he is not going to be playing for the last 2 games. Now, I have something to say about that, but people would consider that this is not really, you know, as much as Erik Karlsson can produce, which is true, but it's still a good season for him, and, you know, he had some injuries and obviously some heartbreak to deal with, which is my next point. Karlsson next year could return to Norris form like he does pretty much every single year, and offensively, he's one of the best defensemen in the NHL, and that's why you have to talk about him. Now, the fact that he is not taking the trip, I think that this relates probably to the fact of, unfortunately, what happened with his child that passed, and I don't want to get too much into it because I feel like even though I don't know Karlsson personally, and the fact that I'm not, you know, a huge media outlet, I just don't want to keep talking about it because I feel it's unfair to his privacy and his family. I feel for Karlsson and his family. I hope that they are finding peace right now and bonding together, or getting together as a family and trying to get past this. I know it's going to be very difficult, and I think that we should just leave that situation for the Karlsson family now and just send as much prayers and love as we can to them and not talk about it too much. So that's probably the last time I'll ever mention it. But I'd like to say that he's probably not on this trip because of the fact that he probably is going to stay at home with his wife and, you know, with his family and make sure everything's okay there. So that's the reasoning, I think, behind him not being on the trip. He could also be still dealing with some injuries but wanted to play the last home game. That's another point there. The thing is, you can also relate the fact that he did pick up that puck because he knew it could be his last game as in an Ottawa Senators uniform and at home. And obviously that's the biggest question here. So let's do a little bit of backtracking here. We all know that Ottawa Senators fans don't like Eugene Melnyk, the owner of the Ottawa Senators, and there's been posters and billboards that have said Melnyk out and they want him out. Well, he's the owner and he's probably not leaving anytime soon. Let's be real here. Unless he gets a stupid offer for a lot of money, he's probably going nowhere. Pierre Dorion also almost traded Karlsson this year at the trade deadline. And if you don't believe me, please watch my video that I've made about Erik Karlsson possibly being a Vegas Golden Knight this season and possibly next season. This is not me just coming up with random rumors. This was something that Elliotte Friedman talked about, the fact that at one point the Vegas Golden Knights thought that Karlsson was a part of their team. It was that close. So please watch that video if you haven't already. It is on my channel. You'll just have to search up for Karlsson in the search bar if you want to. I think it's one of my better videos, to be quite honest. Anyways, the fact of the matter is Karlsson could have been traded. Pierre Dorion could have traded him, and it looks like it was pretty damn close. So there obviously was some back history between that. The Senators are rebuilding. They've traded some of Karlsson's friends. Obviously, that's just part of the business. But Karlsson and Melnyk and possibly Dorion probably haven't been in the best of relationships. We know the team photo where he was kind of sitting alone there and not talking to the guys beside him, the owner and the coach or the GM and whatnot. But that isn't as much as a big deal as I think as maybe them getting rid of Turris for the wrong reasons. The owner just didn't like him. The GM did, apparently. I don't know. There's some stories between there as well. But the fact of the matter is this all adds to the fact that Karlsson picked up that puck. Here's one of the options I'm looking at, and this is probably the one that not a lot of people want to think it is. Karlsson just picked up the puck because he wanted it. He wants to bring it home to his family. Another season in the books, and, you know, he just wants the puck. That's option one. Option two, if Karlsson didn't want the media to pick this story up and he maybe felt like he wanted to leave because he didn't want to be part of a rebuild, I would have figured he would tell somebody in the arena or you know, a teammate or somebody, hey, do you think you could pick that puck up for me and, you know, bring it to me? I'm not sure how long I have left here. He could have done it that way. And I think that that's something that isn't really the option. I don't think he wants to leave Ottawa. The third option here is that he thinks he's going to be traded, and they've kind of made it a little bit clear by almost trading him to Vegas or just involving him in trade offers at all, asking for his no trade or his trade list. Option three could be the fact that he wanted to send a message to Senators fans saying, listen, they're trying to get me out of here. I don't know how much longer I have left here, so I'm going to pick up this puck in front of everybody. I know I'm the captain. I know I'm Erik Karlsson. People are going to be looking at me because this is already a story before me picking up the puck. So he went in and picked it up and kind of said, hey, Melnyk, hey, Dorion, listen, I'm picking up this puck and I'm showing the fans, I don't know how much longer I have here. I want to stay, but you don't want me here. Maybe it's not the fact that they don't want him there, but it's also the fact that they're rebuilding, and that's another thing. If I'm going to not just only take the side of Erik Karlsson, what if the Ottawa Senators look at the fact that Erik Karlsson does not want to take a hometown discount and he could very well be getting paid $10 million plus a season for 7 or 8 years. I think it's 8. That's what you can offer a free agent. If he goes to free agency, I believe it's only 7. But if he's getting paid that much money, that's a ton of money for the Ottawa Senators to tie into a guy to rebuild. Now, the Senators may not be that far away from a rebuild. So, you know, a couple years in, you have Karlsson still being one of the better defensemen in the league, putting up points, not defensively, but offensively. He's obviously a huge building block. You have prospects. You have good players up front still. Duchesne looks a lot better. You know, there's no reason why you can't at least sign Karlsson and keep him long-term for the rebuild. But if they feel like they can't afford him in that rebuild, then maybe the Senators are looking at it based off the fact that, hey, listen, we need to trade Karlsson because we can get everything for him. We can get prospects. We can get picks. We might be able to get roster players on top of that. I mean, if that Vegas deal went through, they were talking 2 firsts, another conditional pick that would have turned into a second or a first, depending on if he signed, probably a prospect. Maybe Tuck was involved in that deal. There was a lot involved in that deal. Money, probably, other prospects. There was a lot of pieces in that deal, and Ottawa could have immediately gotten better within the next couple of years with those picks and prospects and maybe even roster players. So there's obviously that narrative, too, that the Senators just feel like they can't afford the fact that he's not going to take a hometown discount and that he wants to move on so he will get paid by another team because somebody will pay him because he's Erik freaking Karlsson. He's going to put up points. So there is a ton of different reasons why this Karlsson era could be over in Ottawa. And him picking up that puck, obviously I tried to touch on everything. There's a lot of different ways you can look at this. Maybe we're all just thinking too much. Obviously, I'm a hockey YouTube channel. I love to talk about things that are going on within the NHL on and off the ice. So clearly this is something I really wanted to touch on because I am a huge fan of Erik Karlsson. He's a great man on and off the ice. Fantastic offensive defenseman. Maybe there's defensive holes in his game, but he could always try to repair those over the years. He's still, he is considered, I guess, a veteran defenseman, but at the same time, he's still growing as a defenseman, and that's the scary part. He can get better. And I love people that say, well, he's already so good. He's the captain, the offensive. You can always grow. It happens. Everybody grows. And Erik Karlsson brushed it off. So should we as fans brush this off and say, listen, this is nothing? But at the same time, so did Alfredsson, and he ended up in a different uniform. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Am I wrong? Am I right? Do you guys agree with any of the points that I mentioned? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, please like it. I'd really appreciate that. It shows me that I'm doing the right thing, and I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. It'd mean the world to me. Also, congrats to my buddy Audie James. Go and check his channel out. It's the top, I believe it's the second channel in my featured channel list on my channel. I said channel a lot there, but Audie James, go check him out. He is on my featured box on my channel. Subscribe to him. He just hit 600, I believe, so congratulations to him. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this video. I'll see you guys in the next video stream. Lots of live streams coming for the playoffs with Audie James. So see you guys in the next one. Peace.